Dizzy Cash In Ahoy. Yes, it's another Dizzy arcade game, Bubble Dizzy. After the success of fast food, Codemasters asked themselves, how can we cash in on Dizzy yet again? What game can we shovel Dizzy into to sell a few more copies? Anyone who's played Treasure Island Dizzy will know there's a little bit in that game where you end up underwater with the snorkel and you have to jump on the bubbles to get back up to the surface. Bubble Dizzy's based on that. We're starting off on the Amiga version. Really, really simple concept. What you've got to do is you've been chucked in the sea by a pirate and you've got to get back up to the surface by jumping on the bubbles. So here we go. Get ready, player one. Collect that pearl and jump on a bubble. Little tune running in the background that gets more frantic as your oxygen runs out, which is quite nice. The little bubbles travel fast but burst quicker. The slow bubbles travel slower but take longer to burst. And you've got to jump between them, and it's just getting that balance of which bubbles to jump on and getting that timing right. And I'm struggling a little bit here. Can be a little bit fiddly until you get the knack of it. The physics of the game feel quite good. Dizzy floats down slowly, but you can jump speedily between the bubbles. Little things like the whales come across that you can jump onto to hitch a lift, and there's oxygen there that you can collect, and also little ledges. Don't want to contact with the baddies as I did there because you lose oxygen. It's the kind of game you think would be really good in an arcade for 20 or 30p a throw, really. Still struggling here, just trying to get off the bottom. I'm going to run out of oxygen. This is going to go badly. This is going to go very badly. Right, getting a good run at this now, but don't know if I'm going to make the top. Need some fast bubbles. Oh dear, Dizzy's going to be a drowned Dizzy in a minute. The levels get progressively larger as you get on the game. There's more ledges and more baddies. They run out of oxygen. That's a dead Dizzy. Right, let's give this another go. There is a knack to this. It is frustrating. It takes a while to get the hang of it. This is better. You need momentum. You need to keep on going. It reminds me of games like Zub, which has a climbing up mechanic that really you need a good momentum as you go up. If you start thinking about it and loitering around, in case of Zub, all the baddies are after you. In the case of this, you're just going to run out of oxygen. It's not particularly generous on the oxygen even here on level 1, because I'm running out there, but hopefully I should be somewhere near the top now. Oh, can I get that oxygen there? Because I'm going to be dead if I don't. There we go. And the music slows down. Now I've got more oxygen, which is quite nice. Just going to get to the top here. Come on. And there we go. And that's level 1 completed. And pretty much all the levels are like that. Very, very similar. Just get a bit more difficult. Further to climb. More baddies in the level, as I say. It's not a bad game, really, here on the Amiga. It's presented nicely. The physics are great. And it plays well once you get over that initial frustration of learning how to jump between the bubbles and working out which ones to jump onto. So over on the Commodore 64, which would have been a $3.99 game as opposed to $7.99 on the Amiga. Jolly theme tune on the menu screen here. Here on the Commodore 64, we actually get a little introduction of the pirate pushing a rather oddly shaped Dizzy into the sea, which you don't get on the Amiga version. Oh, that's lovely. That really is lovely. And down Dizzy drops alarmingly fast. So we've got to see what the level has in store for us before we start. And Dizzy moves around incredibly quickly on this version. And some of the bubbles speed past incredibly quickly as well. It's very, very difficult. There's a jolly tune that plays in the background. And Dizzy drops down so quickly. You can't recover yourself and jump on another bubble like you can in the Amiga version. You've really got to act fast. And it's all a bit too quick. You can't often see the bubbles coming, especially on the bottom. You can't see them against that yellow. And it becomes a question of more luck than judgment, whether you're going to hit one or not. Just trying that, and you just don't get enough time. You get a ride in a bubble, and you've got to start thinking about jumping onto the next bubble, but there's no time to react. It's incredibly frustrating sitting down on the bottom here. And I've played this game a fair amount, and it's not like the Amiga version where it just takes a bit of time to learn how to do it. This is actually genuinely frustrating. So I defy anyone to actually see where those bubbles are coming from beneath that yellow sand there. Especially if you're playing on a RF connection. I'm on S-Video here, which is the sharpest you're going to get on a Commodore 64, and you just can't see. So I've skipped forward a bit here, and I've even dropped down there. And the other thing is the collision detection on the bubbles. You think you've jumped onto a bubble, but you go straight through it. You've got to be dead on, whereas the Amiga version will let you sit to a varying... See, let me do it there. This is just really annoying. It's Bubble Dizzy, but it just needs more time to get the game physics right. Dizzy, it's rising so slowly. Now I'm drowning. Now I'm dead. Look how slowly Dizzy rises up there. If he sunk at that speed, the game wouldn't have half the problems that it does. And I've got to sit through all this. There we go, dead Dizzy. So you've got to sink all the way to the bottom again when you get another life. And it's just generally very frustrating. So over to the Amstrad, and it's a Mode 1 affair here. Usual Codemasters style menu. No music at all. Here we go, level 1. Oh. Now, yeah. Specky Portville, I think, is the word we're looking for here. And look how small the screen is and how slowly it moves. No music. No anything. This is the laziest port from the Spectrum you can imagine. Well, Count Duckula 2 accepted. You can see down the bottom there on the Bubble Dizzy logo, the black blocks around the blue bits to avoid a tribute clash on the Specky. But of course this is an Amstrad. Oh dear, this is slow, annoying, ugly. Amstrad Action seem to quite like this game, but surely they weren't playing the same game I'm playing. This is so bad. Dizzy moves so slowly along the bottom there. The screen's tiny. At least you can see what's coming, unlike the Commodore 64 version, but it's tiny. It's like Dizzy's trapped in a rock pool. Sound effects are rudimentary, just limited to splat noises when bubbles burst. No, this is absolutely diabolical. This is terrible. And I'm afraid the Spectrum version, which I can't show at the moment, is pretty much the same. It's slightly faster, not quite as ugly due to the weird choice of colours on the Amstrad version, but yeah, it's terrible. Bubble Dizzy on the Amiga is an arcade quality game. It's really good fun. Well worth checking out. Commodore 64 version could have been oh so good because it's got the presentation levels there, but the physics are completely broken. The Amstrad version, it's a bit of a joke. It's absolutely terrible. So really, with Bubble Dizzy, it depends very much which computer you have, whether it's worth playing or not.